Guys, it's finally time for the mid-season patch of the Season of Defiance. We got tons of patch notes to get through and a lot of good ones, so let's get into it. First off, starting with the activities, Seasonal Battlegrounds. Fix an issue where the concentrated essence could appear duplicated. Crucible added a new 6v6 connection-based matchmaking weekly rotator, which includes Clash, Zone Control, and Rift. The existing 6v6 party rotator is now Mayhem, Momentum Control, and Scorched. Updated tutorial Crucible Quest to reflect changes to available playlists. Added a metric showing off your competitive division rank. Ascendant competitive division players can now purchase the emblem from Shaxx, which a lot of players have been waiting for. Fixed Errant, Glorious, and Dredgen awarding or gilding. All players must reclaim or regild their titles if they have completed the requisite triumphs. Increase the strength of the respawn overshield in Crucible. In Rift, activating Grapple no longer drops a spark, which is absolutely insane. That's going to be pretty broken, and I'm excited to see it. Also in Rift, players can no longer dunk the spark while moving faster than 15 meters per second or while using the grapple ability. So it seems like they're probably trying to take out sword skating or maybe shoulder charging into the place where you dunk the spark. Moving on to Vanguard Ops now, Legend Difficulty Defiant Battlegrounds now rotate their weapon overcharge weekly. Defeating Tormentors now provides revive tokens like Champions and Hive Gardens in some activities. Fix Hive door locks and Heist Battlegrounds to behave the same as in all versions of the activity. Tune difficulty in Heist Battlegrounds present in Vanguard and Nightfall playlists. Fix an issue where a crash could rarely occur shortly after picking up the first solar cell in the arms dealer. Fix an issue where the arms dealer enemies, which continuously respawn to drop required solar cells, could be farmed limitlessly for points. Raids and dungeons. Fix an issue in the duality dungeon where the Nightmare of Gahlran could not teleport back to the encounter space after falling out of the environment. Rest in peace, that farm. Fix an issue where checkpoints were shared between Legend and Master modes for raids and dungeons. Fix an issue in the Root of Nightmares where the Scission encounter would sometimes soft lock preventing progress. Fix an issue in Root of Nightmares where sometimes the intended screen virtual effects did not play when players failed the encounter. And fix an issue in Root of Nightmares when Nezarec would sometimes not cast a wipe when intended. For exotic missions, fix an issue where players could sometimes get pushed through walls by Vex traps and get stuck there. Get wrecked. Now moving on to gameplay and investment. Armor. Fix an issue where the Peacekeeper's reload perk would not activate after you stowed an energy slot SMG. Fix an issue where Phoenix Cradle was not consistently extended the duration of Soul Invictus buff while Burning Maul was equipped. Weapon. Fix an issue where certain Gambit weapons were not contributing to the Dark Age Arsenal Triumph. PvE primary weapon balance. This is where we get into the good stuff. Increase the damage of the following weapon types against red and orange bar enemies in PvP. Auto rifles, 25%. Pulse rifles, hand cannons, and sidearms, 20%. Scout rifles, 10%. So that is absolutely huge. I cannot wait to see how the meta changes now. 25% for auto rifles. That's very nice. Weapon archetypes. For the SMGs, we have Icolo SMG. Remove some tuning in the custom scope that was causing this weapon to have significantly less recoil than intended. The recoil is now in line with other aggressive SMGs, which we knew was coming. Fix an issue causing the Adept Exalted Truth to have a lower magazine size than the standard version. Onto fusion rifles. For the rapid fires, their per burst is instead of 245, it's now 260. And then per bolt is instead of 27.2, it's now 28.9. A lot of people think these fusion rifles now are going to be meta. We're going to see about that. Damage in PvE is unchanged, unfortunately. Onto some trace rifles, we got a little bit of a buff here. Increase base damage by 4%. Base damage goes from 12 to 12.5. Reduces the precision hit multiplier from 1.4 to 1.35, but the crit damage does go up from 16.8 to 16.9, so we are getting a little bit of a boost there. Reduce flinch by 10% at 100 stability stat, scales down at lower values of course. Sniper rifles, we have rapid sniper rifles, reduce recoil by 50%, and then also increase total ammunition, magazines and reserves by 30%. And then finally, heavy grenade launchers. Fix an issue where the Omulon heavy grenade launchers were missing their virtual effects. And then fix an issue where the dimensional hypertroid could be obtained with a range masterwork. This fix prevents the weapon from dropping with range and changes any existing copies with range to the equivalent handling tier. For exotic weapons here, we have a change for the final warning, can no longer mark targets through Titan barricades. I know that was a bit of a cheese in PvP. I saw some Twitter clips that were pretty fun, and then I tried it myself, and it was also pretty fun. But that is fixed. On to Teraba, reduce the amount of Ravenous Beast energy generated while taking damage from 3% to 1%, which is a massive, massive nerf. Also reduce zoom from 16 to 15, which in my opinion isn't that big of a deal. Revision 0, 4 times the charm will now be reset when entering Hunter's Trance. This will prevent the issue of firing a single shot while in Hunter's Trance and being forcibly returned to the pulse mode when 4 times the charm activates. Increases PvE damage of the Hunter's Trace rounds by 25%, and then increases PvE damage from the Hake Heavy Burst rounds by 75%. I believe this does stack with the 20% that was on the overall pulse rifle buff, and if it does, then this weapon might be pretty nasty. For perks, we fixed an issue in the enhanced version of Wellspring perk that generated too little energy when the player had any number of charged abilities, so there's a little bit above there. Underneath other changes, added the capability to upgrade the Root of Nightmare's Adept weapons with enhanced traits. If you have unlocked the Deep Sight on weapons, an enhanced trait socket will be available to perform this upgrade in the weapon details screen. So I assume you have to have the 5 red borders to then be able to craft the normal version. Once you get the Adept version, then I assume you can just change the Adept traits. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to change everything on there or not, but that's very interesting. I know a lot of people have been waiting for that as well. Fixed tooltips for Master Dungeons to properly list Artifice Armor as rewards. Abilities, Rally Barricade. The area effect extends slightly further behind and above the Rally Barricade to make staying in the buff area more achievable, especially on uneven terrain. Very nice. Fixed an issue where stasis shards created by the Glacial Harvest aspect would not grant melee energy to Penumbral Blast if the player had a sword or glaive readied. Fixed an issue where the Jolt Chain of Lightning was unable to target some PvE combatants. Fixed an issue while trying to throw rapidly while carrying a tangle could also result in an uncharged melee attack. Bounties and pursuits. Fixed an issue where players couldn't interact with the evidence board after the exotic glaive pursuit is completed. And then overall general updates we have here. Added the best dressed combination. Of course, this is the most weighted thing in the history of the season. Fixed an issue where the objective to complete a dungeon solo Splunker, does not count completions before the player is Guardian rank 10. Fixed an issue where the objective to complete the raid on Master difficulty does not count completions before the player is Guardian rank 10. Players who have crafted their first exotic glaive from the Witch Queen can now claim the patterns for their other characters from the evidence board, which is pretty nice. Unfortunately, they're not that good. Veteran players now receive the correct amount of lore books when they reach Guardian rank 7 for the first time. And fixed an issue where players are blocked from progressing past Guardian rank 3 if they previously bought all available subclass aspects. So we have a lot of good things on here. The things I'm most excited about is definitely going to be primary weapon balance and all those buffs for auto rifles, pulse rifles, hand cannons, sidearms, and scout rifles. Not only that, but being able to enhance the Adept weapons is also pretty huge here. A lot of good Crucible stuff as well. Pretty solid mid-season patch, but I'm excited to see what comes next. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, let me know. Make sure you leave a like, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.